Ashkeepers Legacy is a real tabletop RPG show for adults who choose to never grow up. But that does mean our shenanigans may not be appropriate for younger viewers and listeners. From colorful words to emotional highs and lows to fart and phallic jokes, we will hit it all. So please enjoy responsibly, like coffee or beer or buying dice. Welcome to the show.
Welcome back, friends and fellow gamers, to Detention Gaming. This is episode 25 of Ashkeepers Legacy, our Dungeons & Dragons campaign. If you enjoy our content, please subscribe, notifications, all the fun things. Want to add anything to that?
Oh yeah, you're in charge of the copy.
Where was that established?
Last episode. Yeah, do you want to add anything? The shameless plug of why should the viewers follow and subscribe to our channel?
Funny as fuck. We're funny. We got heart. We got good story. We torment each other, which is kind of entertaining. You know,
A love triangle.
Okay.
Hey,
Brought on by a candle.
They don't need to know about the candle.
Yeah, they do. You know the candle.
If you enjoy our content, you can view it weekly broadcasts on our YouTube channels. I didn't update my intro. Sunday afternoons at
Evenings.
What time?
6 p.m.
6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Good job.
So yeah,
Maybe it's 25.
it's episode 25. What the fuck I'm doing?
Off the rails hanging in
But the VOD is always available right after the broadcast. So when you watch it on Sundays at what time was it?
6.
6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you miss it live, you can watch it after the fact whenever you want. So yeah, you get caught up. It's episode 25. That ends our
Miles
announcements.
for it.
Anyone
Do
else
it
have any
for
more
the dogs.
announcements?
Do
Anyone
it for the
know?
doggo.
No?
No, I mean, you kind of covered it.
Okay.
You
Appreciate
did
the
a
help,
good
by the
job,
way.
all right.
Yeah.
I like that we sat here this whole time and not once was Dom like, remember, you're in the copy.
Yeah.
Remember,
That would
right?
have been helpful.
Subscribe.
You did so
Right?
good, Oli.
Subscribe.
I have in here. Go to Olivia or plug. I have that in
I
here.
would remember.
I buy that. My apologies.
John, we all have ADHD.
My apologies.
I have enough yard but I don't remember.
I don't know. I don't know what I have, but I have something.
Yes.
Are we prepared?
Yes, we are prepared.
Are we prepared? That
Are
takes
you?
care of our announcements. I was
Security.
born ready.
Secure. Okay.
So, to recap the events of last session. Last time on Ashkeepers Legacy, our heroes finished their trip into the wilderness at the hot springs with Elanndor to finish their training. Vivian, you flew through the air with your summoned wings. You learned how peregrine falcons hunt and fought. And you fought a large dire bear, wild shape, which was partway through. You were unsure if it was him, if it was Elanndor,
Your grandma.
and fled, and then flew over the exercise with the fearsome bear. You walked away with much to reflect on. Next, Armand, you went with Elanndor and found a herd of bison where he acted swiftly to a drowning calf. You earned the trust of these animals and you saved it from drowning in the frozen pond. You also left that exercise with much to reflect on. You enjoyed your last night's getaway, and in the morning, you escaped the bad weather on the back of Elanndor, who polymorphed into a great eagle. You climbed onto his back and got a breathtaking view with a flight home. You had landed, returning home, climbing off of his back, and that is where we resume our story. So,
Did we see something?
And a dragon. A very, very big, scary dragon.
White
Weird-
dragon.
A dragon.
We also discovered Adora doesn't like heights.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
that's the new thing.
Ironic. Mr. Drake.
papers.
Eventually, you're gonna get tall enough to trigger your own
Is it
phobia.
heights?
Milo,
Is it heights or
I
flying?
see you eyeing that pizza.
No farts for you.
Don't you dare.
We're not giving you the spell components for Ashley Cloud.
Oh gosh. Okay, I need to do the lights. You guys are getting off the back of a giant eagle and are in the grove. It's snowing. It's cold out. You're very chilly because you were up in the air, flying down rather fast. Some of you are a bit more discombobulated than others.
But yeah,
From the
straight
floor.
towards the nice warm tavern.
Okay. So we go into the Fate's End Tavern. Give me lights. I want lights.
That's nicely.
I don't like technology.
Give it a good touch. No, that's a slap. That is a slap.
That was aggressive.
That was percussive maintenance.
Yes.
Yeah.
You gotta be gentle. Gentle strokes.
Fire.
It's written.
You're
Are
inside
you okay, Bobby?
of what? Fate's End Tavern. The fire's burning. Smell of delicious food within. And looking around inside, you can see Sam has prepared a massive feast. There's food filling the tavern and spilling out of the porcelain in the kitchen.
Hand pies?
What?
Hand pies?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
What? They're
I
easy.
didn't think that's what I heard something different.
Get your brain out of the gutter.
You're the one that has it in the gutter.
What?
I said hand pies. Hand pies. It's in the book recipes. Come on, people.
While your heads in the gut, you mind cleaning them out for us? It's trying to overflow.
Yeah, I'll follow into the tavern and kind of, find a seat, kind of off a little bit, but not too far.
Specific.
Okay.
She's in a mood right now.
Moody.
Moody bitch.
I mean, you have all of your gear on you that you had to take on this journey.
Oh, so I have my giant, like, goofy
Oh
movie.
my god!
Yeah.
You have the goofy movie pack.
How are you going to fit that through a door?
I duck.
Careful, careful. Almost. A little over. And you're good.
I'm just standing on the other side of the door like, what?
Entering in, you see Hugo, Serena, Cinder, you see Alba, and a few other familiar faces who are all just eating and enjoying the overall presence of the tavern.
I approach behind Hugo, like,
Mhm.
not like stealthing, but just like, just behind him, and then
Mhm.
like I put a rough hand on his shoulder, and I kind of bend down and go like, helping your parents out lately?
He's just like,
Oh, fuck.
he slowly like turns his head over his shoulder to look in your direction, and he just, You see they're in the middle of like playing cards right now. It looks like they're playing 3 Dragon Ante. They're not betting anything. They're just playing cards and eating.
Good.
Mhm.
Carry on. And I let go.
I think you made him pee a little.
That was the idea.
Stop being a bully.
Why?
Because he was neglecting his parents and his duties, and that's rude.
Everybody around here neglects their duties.
But he was doing it in my backyard.
I'm about to say, not all of us neglect our duties.
I didn't want to say everybody but me.
I don't think you know how to neglect your duties. I've tried. I have failed. I'm such a horrible friend.
So dramatic.
I go get a drink.
Stop like the most dramatic bitch alive.
My charisma.
Faye.
Yeah. The Fae with the high charisma.
Faye,
Yeah.
and I charisma. I go get a drink. That's
Great.
probably where I go first.
Yeah, you see Mace is working the counter tonight, and you see Sam is bringing things out like in mass, and actually has a few other helpers, which is interesting. Usually not any. No one else is usually allowed in Sam's kitchen, and you notice there's a lot more foot traffic in the tavern at this time.
Oh god,
Sam?
what's happening?
What's happening?
You see Sam's like holding place. He's like, "I'll be with you in just a moment," and he's like trying to like move through people, not trying to not drop the
Mace.
food. You see Mace is like, yes.
What's going on?
Oh, you all just got back, didn't you? Well, tonight's the winter solstice celebration.
Oh.
So everyone's gathering for the firelights and plans to sleep out among the stars, and we're moving tables out into the streets and plan to feed everybody. I think they're setting up games or something outside near the training grounds, and we got a lot of tourists and people coming from Burdusk and Boulder's Gate, so yeah, it's going to be a proper shindig, but I'm glad y'all made it back just in time. I mean, we got about 3 hours till nightfall, so.
Do you need help?
Oh, I'm good. I'm just getting ready for the rush of the festival, but I'm good.
Okay.
Y'all should just get settled back in and prepare for the celebration. Unless you got other things to do. Y'all seem quite busy recently.
When have I ever missed a party?
I should probably leave.
Take that home?
Yeah. That's I'll see you guys later, I guess. And I turn the leave and drop my stuff up back home.
3 hours till the festivities?
Mhm.
I have
And y'all got, if memory serves right, you woke up in the morning, you flew, it was probably like an hour or so flight on Eagle back to the Grove, landed. So it's probably still in the morning. And then the festival goes midday until all the way until dark. And then darkness will end the festival being an overnight. It's kind of like Yule log where like they keep the fires burning all night long. It's a celebration of the stars and the moon and the winter solstice, and it is celebrating the last longest night of the year. So moving forward, it'll be light longer, and you'll be moving into kind of the new calendar. Favorite calendar is confusing and weird, but yeah, kind of like New Year's, but kind of not.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sam, you need an extra set of hands?
He's like, "Oh no, I'm fine, friend. I've got some helpers," and you hear pans and shit go rattling in the background. He just winces at the sound. He's like, "Oh no, friend.
No.
And he's like fighting you to the kitchen, and you see this young kid who's like probably in his like, he's maybe 12, 13, and he's like got like a bunch of dishes, and he's covered in assortments of food. And you see he's like on the edge of tears and is just looking up, looking really overwhelmed and stressed. And Sam's like, "Oh, it's okay, friend. It's okay. We're gonna take care of you." And he like pulls out like this rag and wets it and like goes over and like washes the gunk off of his face and goes over, starts picking things up and grabs. He's like, hands you a mop. He's like, "If you want to help, here you go. You can just mop this up." And he's like, "Okay, come on, we won." And like goes and moves him out of this
for a
space.
few seconds, like quickly, and then and go to actually make food.
Okay. So you start just taking over in the kitchen. Just
No,
start cooking
I just
stuff?
like see what people are cooking and try to just help along.
Okay.
Actual cooking.
Sous chef.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, beyond the large feast that's being prepared of various foods, everything from large salads to, roasted meats and smoked fish and all of these delicious dishes, you notice that they're currently kind of in the final leg of preparations where they're preparing carameled apples with kind of peppermint sprinkled on them, warm ciders and cocos off to the side for drinks like non-alcoholic beverages, delicious soups and broths and kind of like warm fresh cut bread brought from the bakery, And then they're also cutting out gingerbread sheets and making different cookies in different styles, and they're cutting them out of the warmed dough and then leaving them out kind of to dry and then cooking them to finish with like little toppings or icings and things put on them. So it's very sweet kind of sense inside of the kitchen. Yeah. And everyone's working very hard. You see the Runekeeper family, the bakers coming in and out, delivering stuff, sweets and whatnot. Yeah, it's just kind of a heavy foot traffic, chaos everywhere. So if you want to spend what downtime you have, you can to help prepare for things. Okay, cool. You were heading back home.
Mm-hmm.
What are the two of you doing?
I probably grab 2 drinks and then realize that everybody's leaving. So I'll look at Vivian and be like, "Do you want one of these?"
Yeah, sure. I've got a little bit of time.
Cool.
What is it?
It's ale.
Oh, okay. I really like ale, but
I know, but I was gonna drink them both, but now I think I have to pace myself for later.
okay.
Okay.
Fine.
It's not that bad.
Sure.
So what are your plans?
I think I was gonna try and find that person I was telling you about before to maybe help me with my thing that I can't talk about still.
Specific.
Yeah, before the party.
All right. That's cool. That's cool. Drink more.
But I'm telling you now, that's improvement from before, right?
Yeah, I appreciate it.
I really do want to tell you, and I want to express everything. I just need a little bit more time.
I'm not pressuring you.
Thanks.
I
take
think
a big chunk.
I think I'll probably head to the Onassis house. And might try and pray for a while before the party.
Are you okay going back?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I've got all this winter gear now.
Thanks for not hulking out on it.
I told you I wouldn't.
Yeah, if you change your mind, I'll try and find a spot. Or I'll be here tonight. I'll come back.
Are you saying you want to meet up before the party?
Yeah. Is that okay? Or
Yeah.
okay. All right. Thanks for the ale, and I just down the rest of it. Because when I don't like something, I just gulp it down as quick as possible. So, do I need to make a save or anything for that?
Go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
Chugging it.
I just am holding my ale, just watching you chug the entire big
Pint?
pint of it.
15.
15. Yeah, you managed fine.
Oh, that sucks.
Actually kind of warms you up a bit.
That was impressive.
Thanks. And I just belch really loud too.
Should have seen that coming.
You see Zane, who's on stage, tuning a lute. He's just like, nice one!
Thank you.
And you see some of the other people kind of laughing. You see some visitors walking by, and some families are coming through who look kind of a little bit perplexed. But the energy is a fun environment, so it's taken.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'll see you later though.
Yeah.
And I go and look for Trench.
Okay, cool. Where would you like to head? Where would you like to
Do I
begin
know
your
kind
search?
of where he used to hang out, or?
Make a history check.
Cool. Excuse. Oh, nat 1.
Ooh.
It eludes you. You remember Serena probably telling you where they lived? You know they have a house somewhere.
Wait, Serena's there.
Yeah.
I go and ask Serena
Okay.
where
Yeah.
her
Uh-huh.
dad's at.
Take a step out.
Yeah.
Like,
You
I
like
don't
step
know.
out and you're like, wait, you go back. You see she's currently talking to Cinder, the fire genasi, and they're sitting with Hugo, and they were all playing cards, and you walk over to her and you say,
Hey, do you know where your dad's at?
she's like, oh, hey, actually I think he's with Mom and they're working on one of the games, something about games somewhere. Training grounds. Try the training grounds.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, of course. Welcome back.
Hey, thanks.
And
All
then
right,
she goes back to playing cards.
kick ass. Or no, like I'll whisper and say like so and so's got a 4 or something. Help cheat.
Do you hide this or do you?
Yeah, I
Okay,
whisper.
go ahead and make a
And if
stealth
they
check.
Try a mouth check.
Yeah.
Slide them out.
And if they hear me, I'm just
Out.
gonna wink it off.
Okay.
Ooh.
Oh, a 6 and a 4.
10.
10.
10. They all look at you. They're just like, shut up! And then you wink it off and just walk away. And they're just like, God damn it! And they yell out. You see Hugo like goes and tries to find something, kind of toss in your direction. You're long gone by then. But you head out and head towards the training ground. And as you're walking through, you see the banners, and you're on your way home. You see this as well. There's kind of like these colorful banners that have like stars on them. And there's large like paintings that are being painted on the side of the walls and the stone. And there's snow on the ground, and you see that there's people shoveling the snow off of the main roads. And there's large standing torches that are being put along the roadways to keep everything alit, and they're replenishing the main pyre with fresh lumber and wood that's being brought in wagons and unloaded by people. And there's more fire pits being created alongside of the roads, and like logs and rocks and things are being turned over to create like there's so many fire pits. Like you've grown up here at times, remember this holiday being celebrated here. This is definitely the largest it's been celebrated since you've been in the Grove, and there's a lot of people already gathering, kind of securing spots in a fire pit of like where they're going to sit with their friends or family or groups, and tables are being brought out into the road and like benches, and the fires are being lit up, and the warmth of the fires are allowing people to sit outside in the cold and enjoy the food. And it's a very busy foot traffic, so you kind of have to like move through crowds of people as you're going through the Grove. But you're heading towards the training ground and you're heading home. You're in the kitchen, and then you're still in the tavern, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna finish my ale and then head to the Onassis house.
Cool. Okay, so you're heading to the Onassis house. So I'll pick up over here with you. So you're heading home.
Okay.
So you're going back to the casa, and you see all of your siblings are currently outside in this massive snowball fight. Like they've built snowball like wall or snow walls, like kind of forts almost. Yeah, like straight on forts, and like have trenches dug out in the snow, and they're hucking snowballs back and forth. And you see Yolanda's currently sitting with Regina on the porch and is just watching them play, and they're drinking some kind of hot beverage, and you come walking up with your pack. And before you can even react, you just feel this poof on the side of your face as you see one of your halfling siblings kind of poking over one of the snow walls.
Oh.
You just see like their eyes peeking back down ever so slowly and giggling.
I very slowly take off my pack
Mhm.
while staring at them as they're trying to hide. Get down, like crouch down, and just pick up like almost like a giant mound of snow.
Oh my gosh, okay.
And then just start sprinting it over to like dunk it on their
Okay,
Concussion.
go ahead and make a
That's actually what
athletics check if you'd like.
athletics check.
Yeah.
Ooh, 18.
Oh yeah. It like the massive snow mound that you pick up and then just hook. And then a lot of the snow's been pushed off the road, so there is just a large heap of snow to choose from. And you pick it up and it completely takes down half of that wall, and you just hear a muffled as they're pelted with all of this snow, and you just see feet, like winter boots, sticking out from the mound kicking. And you look over and see the other halfling sibling looking towards you, just looks in fear and panic and dives behind the other wall. And they're wearing like knitted hats and like gloves, mittens, and are wearing kind of more layered clothing. And their noses are a bit red and snuffly, like they've been outside for a while. But you see that everyone kind of looks and sees that you have engaged in this, throwing this mound of snow at you. And then you just hear on the other side of one of them, attack! And then you see like 7 snowballs go flying, pelting in your direction as you're just being pelted with they're snowballs, but they're like the ice pellet snowballs because the ice that's on that layer.
Like it sounds like us go all out. It's war.
No, yeah. So you're being pelted right now.
That's fine. I'm just like abort! I'm sorry.
Go ahead and make a persuasion check because they are not letting up whatsoever.
Oof. Persuasion 7.
7.
I was like, it wasn't high.
You're begging them to give up. There's no reprieve.
No mercy.
They're just
No
pelting
mercy.
you.
Oh! Roll for mercy.
But
back that way.
Tomas is out there.
It should be
Tomas,
Regina,
Regina, Renee, right? Regina is one halfling.
Regina is Tomas is the other halfling.
Yep.
But then it would be Omar, who's like the 4th oldest technically.
Yeah. Yep.
And
Omar's
then
there.
The other 3 would probably Carolina would probably be old enough, but the other 2 would be way too young. They're like 2.
Yeah, and they're on the porch with Mom and Auntie.
Yeah. And Michaela's there or no?
She's noticeable. She's absent. She is not there. You haven't actually seen her in a while.
Yeah.
You know she's been busy, but yeah.
Doing hunting shit.
Yeah. But yeah, so eventually
They let me live.
they let you live, but you do not come out of it unscathed as you are like partially covered in
There is
snow.
now a approximate Armand-shaped snowman.
Yeah. Yeah, and eventually it's your mom who steps up and she's like, all right, children, calm down, and yells out at them, and they kind of stop and they look attentively, and she's like, hold your fire. She's like, come here, and like comes to give you a hug.
I'm like, Mom, they're so mean.
She's like, oh, you're fine, don't be such a baby, get in here, and like yanks you in and goes and helps you take your pack off. She's like, oh, look, you brought all of our old stuff out of storage, this is great.
Yeah, it was really super helpful. I killed a deer.
Oh, look at you, so big and strong, killing deer and whatnot. Wow.
Why
Such
are you
a grown man now.
Wait.
Such a grown man.
Wait.
What?
Insight. Why are you talking?
So much sarcasm.
11. Why the hell are you talking to me like that?
It's like, what? And looks at you. What did you get?
I got an 11.
An 11. You could tell that both her and Regina are a few drinks in.
Just like, okay.
She's like, isn't a mother allowed to miss her son every once in a while?
I mean, yeah, you are.
Going off into the world, so who knows
Yeah.
where did you even
Yeah.
go? You killed a deer? Where?
When we went with Vivian's grandpa on like the little camping trip that we were doing.
Oh, that's right.
I also saved a baby water buffalo.
Oh,
It was
wow.
drowning.
Oh, saving the natural world. Look at you, and like grabs your cheek and like squeezes fairly hard. She's like, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud.
How many drinks you in?
What?
Nothing. Is Mama coming? Or is she coming back for the festival?
She kind of like raises a brow, looks at her and looks back, and she goes, I did try. She wanted to come, but she's still handling things. A few more days maybe, we'll see. If she doesn't come back soon, I might go get her.
Go.
Great.
As much as I would like to delay my own funeral for many reasons, go get her. I miss her. The house isn't the same without her in it.
She kind of gets serious and looks back at you. She's like, I know. Are you going to be spending the night with us tonight for the festival?
Yeah.
Or are you going to be spending it with your friends? Regina kind of looks and is like, oh, don't bog Armand down. Live, Armand. Go with your friends. We'll be
Odd or
fine.
even?
Or hibiscus.
Odd or even?
Fair.
Are you asking me?
Odd or even?
Odd.
No, I'll say.
Looks just like, okay, it would be nice since you've been gone for so long to spend more time with you, especially when you'll have time off from your responsibilities on the guard and everything. And I've heard good things about you and your troop from Jax and some of the others that are on the council. So
I roll my eyes when she mentions Jackson.
Son of a bitch.
He better have nice things to say. We kind of saved his ass. Well, to be fair, Adora kind of saved all of our asses.
I've heard stories. I'm proud of you.
Thanks, Mom.
She ushers you inside to get settled back in, and
Hopefully to change my
there's
clothes.
you
It's
smell
wet.
the food too because they've been cooking as well.
Oh,
So
fuck
that hits you as soon as you walk in. And
Oh yeah.
there's like people in the house you haven't met who are just eating the food off of your counter and
That's right.
sitting at the table, like, and they introduce themselves as just travelers or acquaintances who are passing through, and Regina's making sure everyone's fed, and it's overall again just a great environment. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I'm gonna bounce to you.
Yes.
You wanted to go find Trench.
Yeah.
Okay. So going out towards the training grounds, you can see that the training grounds have become festival grounds. From what you've learned from the people passing by and moving things, that the market on the far side of town, there's going to be games on that side as well. Some of those stalls are being converted into games. And then in the training grounds, there's going to be some of the other stalls that are being brought in, like performers, acrobats, fire breathers, fire dancers. Like there's all of these really cool sounding things that are going to be featured in this section of the training grounds, which is just the kind of big open pit that you're used to training in. So it's kind of the perfect spot for outside things to be brought in and set up in a space. So, but you notice a handful of familiar Ashkeepers and warriors and moving things. You see Ren walking by carrying like a whole crate on her shoulder and is setting it down next to this booth, and you can see it's like one of those dunk tanks. It's like a makeshift dunk tank, and they're filling it up with water, and you see like these arcane kind of like embers and coals underneath it to keep it warm for whoever is repeatedly dunked in the tank because it is winter.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's like the hammer and the bell, there's like ring tosses, there's all of these different things that are being set up, and you notice Trench over to the side, and he seems to be like rigging this catapult, like this whole siege weapon that's off to the side, and is like trying to direct what's going on, and his trident is like forked down in the dirt behind him, and he's leaning against it and is just yelling out to them like, be careful, watch the rope, and like you see they're trying to crank it down and it's kind of stuck, and you see someone at the top who has like this pick. They're picking at the mechanism, and then you see at the bottom, who's micromanaging the whole thing, a soot-covered goblin with glasses. And you see Gremlin, who's just like, you're not doing it right! And you see they're just like, he's like, oh, 3, 2, and then you hear, and the fucking person goes flying off, go over the wall, out of sight. And you see everyone, and Trench is just there, like, face-palmed, like, completely done with the whole situation. But you see a few people run off to go find whoever was just flung over the wall. Just make sure they're okay. But yeah, you see him standing there.
She ducks out of the way of Ren and waves hi to her. Massive woman. And kind of approaches Trench, smiling with a wave. Do you remember our conversation before and saying that you had ways to help me out?
You see, like, kind of looks over his shoulder at you and like stands up and like pivots and fully faces you, and he goes, yes.
Do you have time, obviously not now, that we could set aside that we can work on that? I think I'd be interested in figuring it out.
Go ahead and make a persuasion check with advantage.
Okay. 17 plus 4.
21.
21.
21. He looks at you and he's like, has anything changed since last time we talked?
I think it progressed a little in ways. I felt him trying to sway me to do something I did not want to do. I fought it. I didn't do what he wanted, but he's pretty strong and I'd rather not risk it. Especially now being back here, and I really miss being my old self.
He looks very perplexed with worry and looks back and kind of yells. He's like, Gremlin, you're in charge. And he just turns around, goes and picks his trident up out of the dirt and snow and kind of like twirls it under his arm, and then looks back and he's like, looks at you, and then he turns back and he's like, I know they'll be fine. And then he's like, let's walk.
Okay.
And he walks you out of the grove, and you see the gnome that got flung off of the catapult, who was jimmying with the mechanism, is being carried by Evangeline and 2 others, and has a broken leg. yeah. As you were kind of walking and passing, as you were coming out to the gates, and when you get to the gate, there's a line of people going out from the gate from the road, and there are people bundled up, and they're holding torches or have small fires that are made on the side of the road, and there's other Ashkeepers who are checking them in, writing them down. Like, there's this whole check-in process, and through the gates, and you and Trench walk out and head towards the lake shore, where it's a remove from all the chaos of everything that's going on.
I've never seen it so busy here.
He looks at you and goes, well, this was once a closed celebration, and now it's been opened up to visitors and partners and travelers, and word has gotten to Baldur's Gate that we are a more adaptive settlement now, since our numbers have grown and our capacity has grown. So it's a bunch of political guild nonsense, but allied treaties with other guilds. They'll host events at times. We were picked to host this event at this time of year for the charter guild treaty things that are far beyond my attention span. So
You seem super enthused about it.
I don't very much like people.
Fair.
I was raised in the deep oceans where, yes, there were people, but it was so quiet and tranquil. This is all just loud and ruckus, and it's very different from the elemental plane of water. This is, it's not bad, it's just different. Yes. But he walks you along the lakeshore, and eventually there's kind of this large kind of tree that's grown out from some of the lakeshore stones and the sand, and large enough stones that you can sit on. And he just kind of goes and sits on one of the stones and leans his trident up against one of the trees, and he just offers you a seat. He's like, we can talk for as long as you need about what's going on.
Okay. Well, obviously I had to make a deal.
Mm-hmm.
With who is very scary. And I'm even still too afraid to say the name out loud, but I really need help.
He looks with great concern. He's like, all right.
I did it because I was worried about the safety of my family and the people I love. And I was told by someone I shouldn't have trusted that they were in danger, and the only way I could save them was to make a deal, essentially, with the devil.
So you've made a deal with a devil? Or the devil? Can you name it? You can take that power back from it, unless you're contractually obligated to not be able to say the name.
I made a deal with Mogus.
Kind of ponders a moment and thinks and goes, That name sounds vaguely familiar. I believe it is not of this plane. So I believe story, if my memory serves me right, that name sounds familiar with tidings with your parents in the realm of Theros, was it?
Yeah. My uncle was, I believe, at least from stories, my uncle was a follower at a point, and it didn't end well for him.
You kind of see this like moment of like aha in his eyes. He's like, interesting that you say that. Yes, here I believe the entity that you refer to is known as Baal.
Yeah.
The blood god of murder and slaughter. Mogis being the god of slaughter, and Theros, their domains are one and the same, and whilst they could potentially be two different manifestations of the same avatar being, it's a very dark entity indeed. So, I'm curious, who was this other person you said that they said you needed to pledge yourself to save them or your family?
I needed to pledge myself to save my brother.
Oh.
To save him, to save my family.
Oh.
My uncle hadn't finished his business, and there were people out there wanting to kill family who stopped him. He needed a champion.
And you see it kind of, he's like trying to get all the information from you, but he's also trying to think back of like what he's heard in stories that he's heard from past events, which at this time is over a decade ago. And he looks at you, and you see he's usually very kind of brooding and grim, but he's very contemplative, and you know, he's a bald sea elf, and he has tattoos and whatnot, and he comes off as a very kind of like just a gritty personality, but right now is probably the most sincere you've seen him or engaged with him. You kind of see that, like Serena's probably talked about that more father side of him kind of coming out in this. But he looks at you and goes, well, did you promise him or it anything that would keep you in a binding set of terms? Is there any sort of punishment or anything to just cast it out?
I don't really know. I don't really remember all of it. It's like it almost blacked out like a rage. It filled up so heavy as soon as I said it, and I don't really know what happened.
So, just so we're clear, are you asking me to help you break your pact with this being?
Break it or harness it, something. I don't want to be afraid to be around people. I don't want to be afraid to black out. I blacked out again when I was trying to help Adora with her brother, and I saw my father, and he wanted me to kill.
Well, there are two paths before you. Learn to control it, or before the connection gets any stronger, sever it.
How do you sever something like that?
I've never done it with a ballite before, but I can find you the answers you seek by speaking with another one.
What if I sever it and the lore was true that his followers are coming for my family? What if I'm subsiding it?
Do you believe in fate? Or predetermined destiny?
I used to.
It could be an empty threat to keep you in the pact. It's not unheard of among those that serve darker powers. There's always a looming threat of losing loved ones or horrible tragedies and great cataclysms. There's always a risk. And yes, while you risk this pact, there is the possible of greater reward from whatever powers you're drawing on to help you in battle. But if you feel it has too much sway over you before it gets too strong, I know that there have been successful cases where people have walked away from horrible beings that they've made deals with. Beings of the hells, powerful genie elementals. He kind of stops himself and kind of nods. He's like, there was even a time where I sought to break my pact with my patron. But I was given an opportunity to harness it in a different way.
Could you show me how to harness it?
I could. It would not be something that would happen overnight, but we could begin that very long process. And I must warn you, the path that I walk has left me very different than what I was. My very blood has changed. It has granted me great abilities, and I'm still able to harness my magic if you have any magic you use. It's just utilized in a very different way that comes, you become the source of it. It's something channeled through you, and it's no longer something granted from something else. While yes, that energy can be pulled from that, it's a connection made with your very being, and it has allowed me to move forward knowing I'm in control.
Well, I'm already changed from this. I've already ruined too much. I don't want this to be for nothing, so if I can harness this and use this, I'd like to try.
All right. I'm willing to help you, and I have other connections I can reach out to, old hunters and guild folk who we can rally. I will warn you, it's not the most pleasant transformation. People have died attempting it.
I'm afraid I'm gonna do that regardless. I don't make a change. I'm not afraid of death.
He just smiles and nods. He's like, good. That's what's going to keep you alive. He just kind of stands up and grabs his trident and goes, if anything should escalate, don't hesitate to seek my help. Me or my wife. Our door's always open for you. I'll come back to you as soon as I have something.
Okay.
It will take some time for me to send out some messages and get replies and see who will answer my call.
In the meantime, is there anything I should do, or?
I recommend keeping, it sounds like you're having fairly direct routes of communication with this patron. Keep it going. Don't leave it on. It's listening right now, I assume, so it's going to be aware of what's going on, but there's no need to end on worse terms with it. You can speak your piece or just keep to yourself and ignore it. Either way, it's going to be an uncomfortable experience, and the unfortunate thing is it's not going to want to let you go easy. It obviously sees something in you that it can grasp more power and influence with, so.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. I didn't see another way out.
He just kind of smiles and he thinks for a moment and goes and reaches into into his bag. He's wearing this kind of satchel, and goes and pulls out and hands you a rather sizable seashell. Just hands it over to you. He's like, in case of emergency. That's how you contact me. It's essentially a seashell of sending.
Cool.
Yeah. And he just kind of looks back and grabs his trident and kind of points towards the gates. To the festivities?
I don't have to wait in that line, do I?
No.
Cool.
You do have your arm ring with you, right?
Yes.
Okay.
it's here.
Yeah. And he smiles. He's like, so long as you have that, they'll let you in. And he begins to walk back with you. And he, as you're walking back, he looks and he goes, I'm very glad you decided to come around. It's no easy thing braving something like this, especially when it's so new.
I'm realizing I'm losing a lot more if I don't try.
Be honest with me. Do you find the opportunity of the power it presents tempting?
I'd be lying if I didn't.
Good. He just looks back at you again with another smile. It's like, there's hope for you yet. As you continue walking towards the gate, you hear someone yelling. You're just like, Trash, get over here! You see the fucking catapults like upside down. And he's just like, okay.
Do you need...
I think we'll manage.
Okay, thank you.
You just hear this. Get it off of me! Get it off! Idiots! You see the goblin arm like reaching in the fucking snow and trying to like get out from underneath it.
Ren, I think they need some assistance.
Oh, yeah, got it, like runs over and like there's like 17 people trying to hoist this thing up. And eventually it lifts up out of the snow. And you see one of the a dwarf runs over and like grabs Gremlin's arm and pulls him out from under the catapult. And his goggles are like sideways on his face, snow everywhere. He's like, "How did you fuck it up that bad? I gave you simple instructions, stupid fucks!" And he just looks at all of them, and you see that these random people are just being scolded. He's just like, this guy's like, I was just helping lift it off of you. Fuck you! And like walks away. And he looks back and he's like, who was it? And you see they all just kind of like point at different people. And Trench was like, I've got to deal with this. But go enjoy the festivities.
You too.
And he runs off.
Waking up for bombing your bed.
Going back to the kitchen, Akhenaten, would you mind just making some skill checks for me for cooking?
Yeah. Survival?
Sure, yeah. That works.
And I have proficiency in that tool. 14 for the first one.
Nice. Yeah.
19 for a second.
Okay, so we're improving as you go.
19 again, holding steady.
Nice, yeah, holy steady. And I say that's good. Eventually, as time passes, you kind of help pick up the slack in the kitchen. And Sam looks over to you and he's like, oh, well, friend, I really owe you a favor for this one. This is quite the, And you see he's like, oh, no.
Pat. I don't like that.
Oh, no.
Oh,
you see he looks, he's like, what? What have I done?
Open edging too. Thank you.
Ah! You see he's like,
Just send me some please, tell me a favor.
I don't know how this works. That was an accident. It was an accident. Does it count?
Too
He's
bad.
crying.
David.
He's just like, oh, gosh darn it. Okay.
He gets too much joy out of it.
Oh, man. So if anyone walks up to you and says that, it just happens? What does that mean?
I helped you out with something, so therefore you still actually do me a favor.
Okay, this is fine.
Oh, this
I like giving out favors. I like helping out a friend, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No way, I'll do
What's
that.
the worst that can happen?
So much.
Oh.
So much.
Okay. I'm gonna. Thanks for your help.
You're welcome.
I'm gonna go. He like wanders away and like takes his apron off, and at this point the kitchen's kind of getting shut down, and everyone's getting moved out for the festivities as the hours are going by. Because you spent most of your downtime, unless there's anything else you'd like to do. Yeah, you spent most of your time in there doing that. So, Cool. Okay. To you at the Onassis Den. You are inside of home.
Mhm.
Get your stuff unloaded. What would you want to do in your downtime?
I'll get ready for the festivities. Just like clean up and get ready for the night. And then I'll probably go over to the Iroas shrine and I'll take out the blue phoenix feather
Mm.
and just kind of like set it on the shrine and like sit there and then like pray to IRLS to see if I can get anything about the feather from the gods.
Okay. You spend a few quiet moments at the shrine and you see the visage of the Minotaur Centaurian god of victory and all of his kind of glory up there on the mantle and the feather laying there before it. And it gives off a faint glow of a candlelight, and there's kind of this warmth to it, but it's not fire, it's not on fire. They kind of illuminate the shrine with this faint bluish color, unless there's other candles also lit around it. In that case, it's kind of dulled out a bit. And it's just this nice quiet moment, and you don't necessarily hear a reply or any significant sign of anything, but it's just a nice moment.
Just like bow my head. I'll take it off the mantle and I'll put it back away. And I'll say very quietly to the shrine, tell my moms I'm okay. And I'll like bow my head again, and then start to bundle up and get ready to head back out.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Well, with that, we will cut to break. So we will go to break and see you all back here shortly. So stay tuned. All right, and welcome back from break. So, as we go about the Warriors' Grove in the prime of winter, the Winter Solstice celebration has begun as arcane pyrotechnics begin to light up the night sky. As you all come out bundled, the streets are filled with standing, burning torches and bonfires, and everyone's gathering to the inner ward, the hearth ward, to see the pyrelight ceremony. And as you all kind of gather, you find each other in the crowd, and you see standing before the pyre, restocked with wood, fresh timber and lumber, you see Gisela, who is the master of war of the guild, Jax, the master of law, Ingrid, the master of coin, Jericho, the master of whispers, Mariana, the master of ships, Raya, the master of faith, Sovereign Shiitake, as you see this large hulking husk of a large myconid standing there covered in snow. The inner cavity like opens up, and this much stubbier, shorter, smaller myconid comes kind of like almost like a monarch with like a cape of mycelia, kind of walks out of the stomach bowels of this much larger form. It just kind of stands there with like a cloud of spores over this entity. You see a large turtle with kind of like a hunched back and an old weathered leathery face. You see Og, who's the lore keeper of the guild, standing there. And you see Yolanda, who's currently holding a torch, because she's wearing pelts and warm furs and everything. And she looks out with a smile as the council stands there with all of the other Ashkeepers surrounding the pyre and all of the other onlookers around in the area. And Lady Sylvana, your grandmother, comes walking out from among them, the new Lady Commander, and Yolanda passes her the torch. And she takes the torch and looks at you, at the crowd at large, and goes, "Welcome, kith and kin of all kinds, to our gathering in celebration of the winter solstice. We are honored to have you among us today. Thank you for braving the winter weather to join us. Tonight will be revelry, it will be memories, and we commemorate another lapse around the sun. So enjoy yourselves, and may the pyre burn all night long." As you see, she takes the torch and sets it to the pyre, and almost freakishly in an instant, archaically empowered, you just watch as the pyre ignites in this giant column of flame that goes up into the sky. And as it ignites, you instantly begin to hear the music kick up from the tavern within. Everyone starts cheering, and everyone begins breaking off and beginning to enjoy the festivities. So, with the lighting ceremony completed, you are all free to do as you will and explore the grove and spend time with one another. And if there's anyone you're looking for, you can look for them. But yeah, this is y'all's time to celebrate. And the flashing of arcane pyrotechnics go off in the sky, lighting up different colors and spaces. And it's honestly very grand, like, very grandiose for the guild. So, yeah.
I've never seen anything like this over here.
I feel like I have like both of like the little twins, not the halfling twins, but like the 2-year-old girls like on my shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, this is pretty intense.
They stepped up their game
They really did.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of weird.
a little bit, but
Why are you
Kinda cool.
complaining? Let's have fun!
I said it was kind of cool.
We're not complaining. We're just making.
We're just in awe. Tom.
Yeah.
This is
In
what
awe.
our parents built. Like, this place used to be nothing, and now look at it. You guys should have seen the line that was coming from the gates.
There's a line.
Yeah, it was massive. Like, people travel to come here now, and this is,
That's a big deal.
yeah.
I ain't gonna back about that.
What?
Nothing.
But you said we're Debbie Downers.
Shut up, go drink.
I think we should all have a drink.
I got the children.
What
Hey,
if I
who
Who
hold
do
it
you
and I
have on your shoulders right now?
Henrietta on one shoulder and Renee on the other.
Okay, so you have Renee and then Henrietta.
Henrietta.
Henrietta?
Yeah.
So you see they currently are bickering as you're talking
We're like
over you
2-year-olds
to
bickering.
each other. Yeah, and they're just kind of like, they're like kind of feisty. They're just being very feisty with each other.
So, are you gonna hang with us tonight, or are you gonna babysit?
I kind of.
Don't be rude.
I didn't mean it as rude. I was just genuinely asking.
I kind of want to hang out with like my family like a little bit. You can hang out with us.
I respect that. I think it's good that you want to spend time with your family.
I mean, we've been kind of off doing like guard stuff. I haven't really had the time. So
No, it's important. I like look at the little ones on your shoulders. It's really important.
You shut up. 13.
I'm being genuine.
You're fine.
So you guys want to like hang out with like us? At least for like a little bit. I mean, I'm sure we'll be able to break off later, but
Would you and Vivian like some time alone?
What?
oh, or that you two could like go off and like do some stuff.
Tell
I
me,
think
if Armand's going off with his family and you want me and Vivian to be alone, what are you gonna be doing?
I should have really nice transport there with some pretty nice ladies.
You're right. I shouldn't have asked. How about we find you in a little bit?
Actually, like I take the two. I was like, "Want to help me do some shopping? I need to look for some shit."
You see like the big,
Oh, my parents say worse
Yeah.
wait, what did you say?
I said language.
because I'm cursing in front of the
What did you say?
shit.
Shit. Okay.
They've heard shit.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure their first
As
word
soon
was
as you
fuck.
say, one of them just like shit.
Like, that's right, shit.
The other one's just like just gets mad because they.
It's
can't
okay.
really
The eyes
say
are
it.
hard. The eyes are very
Yeah.
hard.
Cool. Okay. So, that's totally cool. We can divide up. So, let's just roll some d20s. Let the dice decide your fate.
roll my chunk.
Ooh, 11.
13.
We're going last.
11.
Would you believe it was a 4?
Nope.
It's a 1.
Ooh.
Oh, shit.
You're either going first or last. I have no clue.
What'd you get?
17.
17. Okay. So, a conotone.
Mm-hmm.
You break away from your group as the ceremony is done.
Oh, God, I can't wait for this.
Bar.
Bar, okay. You head into the tavern and you see that there are people. The tables have been moved out into the streets, so there's just kind of an open floor in the tavern. So it's all standing room. There are a bunch of bards on stage. Some of them you know, some of them you don't. But there's just an overall just jovial atmosphere. Everyone's just kind of like step dancing and like just twirling and linking arms with each other and have drinks, and it is just a lively life of the party inside of the tavern.
I want to see Tom in action.
I want to see him fail.
No, I want to.
The player would fail because the player's not even foot.
Hey, whoa. Tom's charismatic, okay?
Yeah, Thomas, his player ain't.
You got this. You got
You
this.
got this.
First I'm getting a drink because.
Mm-hmm. So go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw for me if you don't mind.
Ooh, that'd be bad if I wasn't a barbarian. 14.
14. Okay. Yeah, it's it's warming you up quite a bit, and the atmosphere inside is a bit more humid because there's just so many people inside of this area. But yeah, you look around and you can kind of see a few familiar faces out in the crowd all over the place. You see like Hugo, Serena, Cinder, other Grove friends out and about. Some of them dancing, some of them drinking. You see the pack is currently in the tavern. They're kind of keeping more to themselves, but they are just drinking quite a lot. You doubt any of them will see through the full night. Yeah, you see Evangeline, you see who else? Feyre and Ren and Sake, and they're all at like a table, and Evangeline, and who else am I forgetting? Am I forgetting anybody? Oh, and another individual who you haven't seen before that's like kind of cloaked up with them. Big hulking muscles, large cloak. Kind of like can only make out the eyes, which kind of have like a almost faint kind of purplish arcane glow to them. And they seem to be partying and having a good time in one section too, and a few of them are kind of dancing. And you notice Saki like bumps into you, and he's doing this like drunken martial arts, like Hadozi kind of like it's dancing, but also stumbling drunkenness. You're not quite sure. But Keg is walking around and is just filling up drinks left and right for people as they ask. There's tons of money being thrown as donations for the guild, but the drinks are all free for everyone for tonight. So you see that there's actually some people who are like literally sweeping the coins off of the counter and like keeping it clear and bringing out more cups and things and taking
the
dirty
strip
ones.
clubs and the drag shows.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
This is a family environment.
Is it?
Hey, Thomas not having much to drink yet.
I'm very curious. Are you looking for that person that you that one time that's
You
been
lost your virginity.
the longest mystery? I mean, we're not there, but I'm so curious.
I was going to be discussing you lost that before you even got yours up.
What? I did not understand.
It's fine. You didn't have
I
to.
didn't understand a word of that.
You're fine.
I heard it.
I did too. It's great. It was a very connotum reply. Eventually you catch a familiar scent approaching you from behind, drink in hand, and you see the female drow, white-haired, kind of wild, braided, kind of more grizzled, kind of edgy, darker leathered clothing, walking up behind you, and I don't know why her name is eluding me now that I just described what she looked like. I knew which NPC this was.
I know who you're talking about.
It's a member of the pack. I can't. Tala, who's a member of the pack. She kind of comes walking up with a drink in hand and goes, "Hey, Akhenaten.
Shut bitch.
Anything new with you?"
A little bit of an awkward situation because of my dingus of crewmates. Other than that, nothing weird. He's getting my sister.
Ooh. She puts a hand on the shoulder. She's like, "That's rough, buddy." Just pats it.
Oh no, I promised, unfortunately, before I figured out the game, I didn't give a flirting. And I told him whatever he did to my sister, I was going to do to his. So.
She raises her brows. She's like, "Is that so?"
It's a little awkward, yeah. Luckily, I haven't had to deal with that yet.
So, do you have plans with said sister tonight?
Nope. I
What?
don't have any plans tonight. I was just gonna eat, drink, make merry.
Well, shit's awkward in the pack right now, so I'm.
Oh,
looking
who did what?
It's a long story, but I brought you a drink. If you're so inclined.
When have you ever known me to turn like that?
Never. And she just smiles and looks back at you.
Picture.
Go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw. This drink's far more potent than what they're
Dex
giving
save?
out. No, this is a con save.
Okay. 23.
Damn! You drink it, and you see she looks, and there's like this apprehension, and then sees you down it, and like you kind of handle it fine, and she's like, "There's no fucking way that didn't affect you."
Have you met my dad?
No.
You ever see who literally runs the bar from time to time?
Oh well, I mean,
That's
sure
not that-
I've seen him, but I haven't like met him.
He,
Why, is he like tough shit or something? Or?
he almost won a drinking contest against a god.
I call bullshit on that. There's no way. A god? What god? What god's having a drinking contest?
Ah, crap. Enough from just playing. Oh, big guy hammer. I can't remember the name off the top of my head.
Good, maybe that means the drink's working.
Oh.
There's not a lot in here to begin with. Ain't gonna get me a drink. Sucks.
You feel loose enough to dance? Horns? And she just looks back at you. Mhm.
Bring it, bitch. Grab yanks over the
Yanks her, and you both kind of go stumbling out onto the thing, and she bumps into someone. She's just kind of like, "Oh, sorry," and like goes back to you, just like, "Wow, so aggressive. I like." And y'all start dancing. So go ahead and make a performance check for me. You're not drunk, so you don't yet. So you don't have disadvantage in your performance check.
Slightly above that. 16.
16. Kind of the clatter on the stone on the woodwork as you dance with her, and you both kind of just are amongst the chaos, dancing and jovially kind of just caught with the crowd. And it goes from like this kind of like, Renaissance like folk music, like circle dancing, and then you see more bards kind of switch out those who are on the stage to give them a break and a bit of respite, and the mood instantly changes and the music starts getting very heavy, and it turns into more of like a fucking mosh pit as people start moshing and just start bumping into each other, and it's just kind of utter chaos in the tavern, and it's just overall just a fun atmosphere. So
Drink and make merry.
yeah, absolutely. So I will leave you there. Who is next in our rolling order?
I think Vivian was.
Okay, so Vivian and Adora. What are y'all doing? You're kind of left on your own right now. You're just kind of under the fireworks that are going off outside and jovial atmosphere all around.
I don't remember seeing fireworks like these back in Theros.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
I'm sorry things got a little weird with the other two. I wasn't expecting it to be something announced like that. I don't know.
I mean, if you don't want to be alone with me, we can go find Armand and his army of the family.
No, I wanted to hang out with you. We used to hang out even before.
We used to get in trouble.
Okay, but we're a little bit more mature now.
Debatable.
I don't know. It's just, I want to have fun with my friend again.
I'd like that. Do you want to go get a drink or play one
Yeah.
of these games or?
Yeah, I want to try one of the games. They were setting one up in the training center and it looked kind of fun. It had like some sort of slingshot, or maybe that wasn't supposed to be like that, but I'd like to see how it's supposed to be ran if you want to come with me.
Yeah, I'd like that.
Okay. And we head to the training grounds.
For
Okay,
the games.
yeah.
For the games.
Yeah, you see among the games in the festival, there's a ring toss. There's kind of like the knocking the bottles down with like a stone or a ball type of game. There is axe throwing. There is like a makeshift obstacle course, which is more kind of like kid level obstacle course, more like a jungle gym. You see Phoebe has brought out in the stables a bunch of like critters and animals and creatures that are very fuzzy and adorable, and there's a bunch of families kind of gathered around in this giant pen where there's these adolescent creatures running around and they're playing with the kids, and so it's like kind of like a petting zoo. And then there's kind of like a hay bale maze that's kind of been made, and there's kids just jumping all over that and running through that, and it's in the snow, so obviously there's snowball fights happening too. There's vendors walking around giving out warm drinks and sweets. You actually notice a lot of the fireworks and pyrotechnics are coming from kids waving wands around, and arcane pyrotechnics are shooting in the air. They are harmless, but it's kind of like, yeah, it's like that. Like they come running through, and they have like either little sparklers or they're shooting it up into the sky, and there's just sprays of prismatic colors shooting up into the sky with loud audible booms off in the distance. And you see there's a few more of the older adolescents who are like off to the side in the grove that are doing it at each other like a wizard battle, but it's harmless, so just flashes of color at each other as they're like having wizard duels and whatnot. But yeah, it's so you got some games, and
Do I see the slingshot thingy?
oh, the
that
catapult?
Was, yeah.
Yes, you do see it upright this time, and you see there's a line of people in front of it, and you see that there's a target very far out of the way, and you see that the object of this is that you and a partner have to set the catapult in the right configuration to try to hit the target, and they're launching pumpkins out of it, like old rotted pumpkins or fruit or just random
So not
objects. No.
people.
That gnome is in the infirmary right now. I got flung like 150 feet through the air and might have died on impact. So,
God.
yeah.
We're really fine.
Yeah, they're okay though.
This is so cool. Do you see anything you want to try?
I mean, I see a couple that I'll probably be better at than others, but
So you want to show off?
no, I'm trying to not fail.
Okay, so
So obviously you want me to do the ones I'd be bad at.
I mean, no. I definitely want to try that maze. I'm like curious if we can make it out, but do you want to launch some pumpkins first, or
Yeah, I mean, whatever you want to do.
what do you want to do?
I like pause. I'm just happy to be here with you.
Same. Well, let's figure it out, and we'll make a list. And
I can throw a rock at those bottles over there.
okay, let's see you throw rocks.
Oh, where did it go? I need dice. Okay, you see that there is this of like non-binary dwarf who's working the area and looks over and is like, "Oh, come on over, friends! Want to take a chance at knocking over some bottles?" And you see they have these kind of like leather-bound, like it's basically a leather version of like a makeshift medieval baseball.
Cool.
And they kind of have 3 in a bin. And you see that there's a bunch of like plushies of like different monsters that are like hanging up around that you can win.
I like go and lean up over on one of the counters. Okay, let's see what you got.
All right. One, please.
All right, that will be 1 copper piece.
Oh yeah. And I like search for my
Here.
Okay.
I hand the copper over.
Okay, hand the copper piece over. Hands you over a little woven basket with 3 balls in it.
Okay.
So you get 3 tries, and this is a. I mean, this can be sleight of hand. This could be athletics. This could be. Could be a few things. Could be. I don't know. I could take a perception check for this.
Athletics.
Use them she got muscles, she's gonna use them muscles.
Honestly,
A few
she's
different skills you can try to focus on. When
She's
you're in
just
this
gonna
game.
try and muscle it through. Just like
Okay.
You see
Use
that
all
back
strength.
wall, it's gonna be gone.
Athletics.
athletics.
That back wall, gonna be gone.
21.
21. You throw and it's stacked, so there are 2. It's 3. It's 3 and then 2, right?
3, 2, 1.
You knock 3 of them down of the 5, and there's only 2 left standing in your first ball. You see everyone, and the kids are like, "Whoa!" and they're like watching you, and everyone else kind of claps that's nearby, and you see that there's kids like eating gingerbread, like watching you as you guys are doing this.
Want to go again?
You have 2 more tries.
I have 2.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Never mind, she didn't say that.
I take it back. So I just kind of like glance at Vivian and I'm like,
Wow, Adora.
okay. No pressure.
No pressure. All pressure. All pressure.
18.
It's a hard shot.
You throw and it's a powerful throw, but unfortunately does not knock any down on this go. It kind of hits the large sheet in the back as it rolls down and catches. You see the dwarf's like, "Ooh, nice throw."
Do you glue those onto the stand?
Looks at you insulted, walks over and picks them up and puts them back down.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
Not glued.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. You throw again and you knock another one off, but the other one remains standing. So with your 3rd try done, you knock 4 of the 5 down. So they give you some kind of mid-range options as far as prizes go. So I'll say there's an assortment of stuffed monsters and beasts.
Go to Vivian and I like nudge her with my shoulder. I go, pick whatever you want.
No, it's your prize.
Yeah, but I want it for you.
The purple one.
Okay, purple what? You get to choose what it is. It could be a magical creature. It could be a beast.
The purple fat dragon.
It goes and grabs you. It's like, it's not one of the jumbo ones, but it's a pretty hefty, big
It's
size
chunky.
plush. Yeah. Yeah. Goes and hands it
Thank
over
you.
to you. It's like, good job. Who's next? And you see some kids come over like, "We want to give it a try. And then both are just kind of left in the crowd in the chaos of everything. The candied apples are given out, dipped in caramel, sprinkled with peppermint, warm ciders and cocos, depending on your choice of drink, unless you're drinking like an ale or something, or a warm cider. And then there's gingerbread treats that they're giving out to people throughout the area. So, yeah.
Are you hungry?
Always.
Okay, let's go get something to eat.
Okay.
Cool. So we'll leave you 2 off there as you go get something to eat, and we will come over to Armand, and you are with the family.
Yeah. I feel like I'm just like following like the younger like kids around, kind of playing like babysitter, but also enjoying myself as they're like. I feel like they're probably at like the petting zoo.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
You ride the animals.
more than likely riding the animals and succeeding.
Absolutely, yeah. There's like Yeah, I'm trying to think. There's probably like a very small, like mastodon, like a small elephant that's kind of has like a little saddle on it that's being going through the snow, like has like elephant zoomies and there's kids on its back, just like it's like tooting its little trunk and running around. Boof, 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 boof. And you see some of the other kids are like having a full-blown just kind of like panic attack at some of the animals that are about. And Phoebe, who is this very kind and nice furbolg woman, is like trying to console the children and keep them as calm as possible to not spook any of the animals that are about. However, you do see flying around a very mischievous fairy dragon that's dipping in and out of the snow, slithering like a snake, poking its little head out and looking around at some of the other children and just kind of like whistling at them. And they're going to try to lunge for Barge, and Barge dipping back under the snow and then like going underneath. You see the snow mound like moving through the ground and then Barge popping up again, kind of playing hard to get. But yeah, it's overall just a very fun, jovial atmosphere with your family, and the kids are enjoying everything. And
I feel like after a while, I approach like, is like Regina there?
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Be like,
How many cups?
Nana, I think I'm gonna go and look at like some of the shops, like really quick, or like little like booths.
Okay. That sounds great. Do you need anything
No,
in particular?
I was looking.
Do you need money? And like goes and tries to like get
Nana,
money out
I have
for
my
you.
own money.
It's like, oh, that's right. Forgive me.
Yeah. I appreciate you,
Mhm.
but I'm okay. I was just looking to see if I could find like a gift for the girl.
It's like, oh, okay. Go have fun. And good luck.
Thanks. And I like quickly like
Yeah.
blushing that like I
Yeah.
go and like walk.
Yeah, and you run off, and as soon as you run off, you hear like a few of your siblings calling out. You're like, "We want Coco! Coco!" And you see they come like completely disinterested in the animals now, and like Regina's like the one they're asking for. She's like, okay, Coco, and like goes to one of the vendors, and like you could see like they're all swarming the vendors. Like this half-elven gentleman is like walking over, is like, would you like any whipped cream with that? And they're just like, yes! And they're just screaming, excited, exuberant. You've honestly, Regina's kind of taken over, watching over the kids. You saw Yolanda last at the ceremony and was talking with some of the council people, so is around, but you and Regina were the ones who had the kids, so. Yeah. But yeah, so you run off where to? Shopping.
I'm just looking to see if any of like the vendors have like some sort of like scarves or like sashes that would probably be used for like dancers.
Oh, okay. Let me look here. So, are you heading out into the market? You know that they're having a lot of festival deals and discounts and whatnot. Let me see. And you approach one vendor. You don't know their name, but they're just a merchant that works in the grove from time to time. And you see this blue-skinned tiefling man who's very well put together, very, very kind of gentleman-like, but more, what's the word? I don't know, it's eluding me. But he's very fancy, high-end society gentleman.
Aristocratic.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, very aristocratic. Not stuck up, not ignorant or arrogant, but just very humbled, but also just very fancy. But you approach his stall and he has all manner of fancy draped kind of like sashes and robes and more formal attire, like, you know, like ball. There's like masquerade masks that are out on display for sale. There's like even bits of jewelry and beads and things. And you approach, you're just like, oh, good day, traveler. Looking for any wells or wares this fine evening?
Wells or what?
Wells or wares. Wares, like adornments.
Oh.
Apparel.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, apparel. Do you have like any like sort of like dancer like scarves or like sashes that like that people who dance would probably like use in dancing, and I make like really big weird like awkward movements?
Yeah. Kind of looks over and is like, well, let's see here. This may function in that manner. I mean, it's elegant, it's beautiful, and it is long enough to be handled in such a manner. And picks up this like nice, beautiful kind of like lace shawl. It's very nice, and on the end has some embroidery that comes up into it. It looks very out of place as far as what you've seen as fashion is adorned. It seems like very foreign compared to the Sword Coast of Faerun, like something from the far south or east, kind of where it's a bit more hot, temperate, like more.
What's the color?
The color, I'd say it comes in a few color options, maybe green, blue, pink, and I don't know, a red. And there's like different metallic trim, so silver, gold, brass, kind of like an assortment to choose from. Is there a particular color you're looking for?
Like, I'm trying to like go with like Hibiscus's color scheme, so like a darker like red or like maroon with like purple, maybe some like orange in there.
Okay.
Since I have an orange cloak.
So unfortunately you don't see anything that fits Hibiscus's color scheme other than just like the red one, which isn't exact, but it's pretty close. But the gentleman just kind of like looks over to you and is like, so, does it suit your fancy? And he kind of like wraps around his shoulders and like tries to mimic the things that you were saying earlier, and he's just like, yes, no, yes, a bit too much, I agree. And goes and sets it.
It's not quite the right color.
Oh, that is no issue. I can change the colors.
Oh, you can?
I can.
Okay.
This will come as an extra fee, but discounted for the festival.
Okay. Can you like throw in, like, make it like a little bit more, like, maroonish color with like some purples and like some oranges in there?
You see, kind of
Like
sticks
a
out.
sunset, but like a red, like deep red, orange, kind of purple sunset.
I can certainly try.
Okay.
Points out the pinky finger, and there's a pinky ring, and you see it's carrying a gem on it. Begins to speak in Infernal, and just kind of points the pinky and zaps the sash, and the color just drastically changes in a moment to something akin to what you were looking for. But I'll say it's a little bit off.
Off how?
Color-wise.
Ah.
Yeah, it's not quite the right tint. He goes, and?
It's close.
Ooh, we want it perfect though, don't we?
Yeah.
Very well then. What, do you have a something of reference would be helpful?
Hibiscus flower.
Do you have one? I'm not familiar with said flower.
No, but it's like, and I like describe it like the big like maroonish kind of like leaves with like a yellow center and like the little sprout like hanging up, like coming out of it, just as waxing poetic detail as much as I can.
Go ahead and make a, what would this be? A persuasion check, I guess?
Oh god.
Or just a generalized charisma check, just to try to get the description out accurately for this individual.
Are you explaining it well?
15.
15. Yeah, you do so very well, and the individual's like, oh, very, very helpful. Yes, and just kind of holds up the pinky again and then zaps it, and you watch kind of as the sash blinks again with arcane light and flashes into a vibrant color, and then settles. And as the arcane residue kind of settles upon it, the colors are down.
Oh, that's perfect. Thank you.
So that will be 2 gold pieces if you do not mind. And that is with the festival discount.
Okay. Can you wrap it as well?
Certainly. Extra fee though.
Okay.
Alright. Just goes and collects it, puts it into like a nice box with some paper wrapping, and kind of seals the box. I was like, would you like a ribbon and a name tag as well?
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
Alright. And goes and like selects a ribbon to match the colors of what's inside, ties it into a nice bow, and kind of dangles a tag parchment from it, and just kind of like goes over and is like, well, collectively that will be a total of 2 gold pieces and 50 silver pieces. My apologies. So 2 gold, 50 silver.
Can I give you 50 gold?
Whoa. Whoa.
It's 10 silver.
Are you trying to purchase everything I have tonight?
No.
I will graciously take a tip, but that is far too much.
I can't really do like math, but I'm not that smart, so math between like gold and silver is a little weird, so it just makes more sense for me.
Oh, you poor thing. Let me help you. I do not want to handle your funds. And he goes and pulls out some of his own funds and sets out
Can I give you...
a gold.
So 50 gold's too much. Okay,
He
can I
goes-
give you like 10 gold?
No. Here, let's do this. Take out 3 gold pieces.
Okay.
I will give you 50 silver pieces in return for your change.
Okay.
Is that understood?
Sure.
Half of a gold is 50,
Okay.
and you're paying for the 50 silver in that gold you're giving me.
Okay.
Understood?
Uh-huh.
Yes?
Uh-huh.
Wonderful.
Okay.
So 3 gold.
Uh-huh.
That's all I ask.
Okay.
Do not leave. I'm giving you some in return.
Okay.
You say you hand over the 3 gold, takes it happily,
Mhm.
goes, gets 2, and then begins counting out like all the silver pieces, slides them over to you.
Okay.
Goes, there's your change,
Thank you.
and here's your gift.
Thank you.
And free of charge, you may use the inkwell on this countertop to write out the name of said person this is for.
I take it and I hesitate kind of a bit and I then as in
Silver is 10 silver pieces. I fucked it up.
10 silver?
Math is great. Numbers are great. It's fine.
Okay.
So you have 10 silver, and you spent 2 gold, and you
The
Just remember, I
figure
spent
should have
3
been
gold.
you spent 3 gold, but you only spent 2 gold and 10 silver,
Okay.
not 50
Okay.
It would be 5. Sure.
or 5 silver. Thank you. Yes,
I got you.
thank you.
Math.
Math is great.
Mathing.
I love fantasy coinage. It's wonderful.
It's 10 to 1. 10
So-
copper equals 1 silver, 10 silver equals 1 gold.
This is why I appreciate having you at the table, David.
Yeah.
Give me the hammer!
But I hesitate for a second, and then in as best of handwriting as I can, I write mi flor, which is my flower.
Okay.
Shush, it's his first.
Shut the fuck up!
As you finish writing this, you turn around,
Mhm.
and she's standing there right behind you. Eyes wide, speechless. And we'll cut back to you in a minute. She rolled a high enough stealth check that you did not notice her the whole time. She just watched and waited.
Holy shit, bro.
Well played, sir.
No.
She's going down, she's going down.
So coming back to Adora,
Yes.
what are you both going to be up to now?
Free.
Food? I thought we were getting food.
Okay. So where are you heading? You be anywhere in the grove? Like there's sort of serving food everywhere, really.
I'd probably. I have an idea. Why don't we grab something to go? There's a place I think I'd like to check out.
Yeah, okay.
So I grab some sweet treats from somebody near
Yeah.
the we can bake.
Do you go for the candied apples, the caramel peppermint apples, or the gingerbread?
Both.
Okay. You see, there's gingerbread cookies that are cut out like a beholder.
I
They have,
definitely do.
eyes and stuff.
Hot
Frosting.
cider, too.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Sounds really good.
Cool.
So we're go through the crowd,
Mhm.
and I kind of just am looking back to make sure Vivian's
Where are we
following.
going?
And I'd like to check out the Hall of Heroes.
Okay. Hall of Heroes. So heading up into the northern part.
Miss Mysterious.
Of the grove. You see a quieter part. It's less. There are people around and coming and going from this area, walking among the burial mounds that are covered in snow and the old trees. Let me see here.
How red is my face right now?
It's actually
Your
not that
whole
red.
back was red, too. You were just red.
Not quite fish. But I could almost throw some marshmallow on it.
That's great.
Cherry wood red.
Cherry wood red. That was great, Dom.
Your cheeks are pink.
Thank you.
This is a pretend game. What the fuck is going on?
I don't want to hear anything about me crying when I'm laughing.
No. I cannot find what I'm looking for. This is great.
I threw him a loop.
Mm-hmm.
Well played.
But yes. So you both head into the Hall of Heroes, which is a much more quiet atmosphere. Outside, you can still see this of like magical flares and arcane
Kids
flashes of
sparking
light.
each other's
So-
asses off.
Yeah, yeah. You see the one kid that you saw earlier comes sprinting down the courseway, covered in snow. Looks like they've fallen a few times. They now have 2 wands that are sparkling. And they're just, yep, pretty much. But you enter this space, and there's a much more quiet atmosphere contained within this area. It's almost kind of like a gallery of statues. You see these large carved statues of heroes and warriors and just individuals and guild members from times past, and inscribes their names on the stonework, and a few names you recognize from stories, like you see Elanndor written in one, you see Francesca written in another, you see Bulwark written in one, and you see others that you're not familiar with by name, but you know of their stories and what they had done for the guild and how their time came, and this is just kind of to honor them in memoriam. It's just very lifelike sculptures that are very intricate and carved. You see some people are leaving some things for them, kind of like more offerings or, like little pieces of festivity on their statues and their tombs, essentially. But yeah, and you see that there's like written works that are posted out on tables that kind of detail for tourists and people coming into the grove, like the Dance of Shadows and the Battle of Frost and Flame and the Feywild and all of these great accounts that the guild had fought in years before your times. Detailing accounts of who fought and where, who did what, enemies slain, victories won, and like deeds done in life before death and then cause of death. So it's kind of an memoriam to the fallen, and you both enter there, and it's just steady foot traffic. I imagine the atmosphere is like, because it's more jovial and celebratory, it's not like very grim and like funeral level, that it's almost kind of like a rowdy art gallery in a kind of vibe in this space. It's kind of this large cathedral-like building with large dark wood archways that go up, and sound kind of permeates in the space, but there's this overall kind of hushed but jovial conversation going on with people having drinks and food just like you. So
This was a different pace. Why here?
It's a lot outside. I wanted to slow things down a bit.
Are you okay?
Yeah, it's hard. And I shake my head a bit. She would have loved this.
Yeah.
She'd be causing trouble somewhere and I'd have to go bail her out, but she would have loved it.
I'm really sorry for your loss.
I haven't really thought about it until recently, since Talos has been here. I've been thinking about her a lot. And I'm slowly walking the statues, and I stop in front of Francesca's, and I look at the name. I was named for her,
What do you mean?
Adora Francesca Onassis.
Your middle name's Francesca?
It is. She was my mom's best friend.
Wow. She's the one who still
wounds, right?
I haven't seen her. But I've heard things. It's a lot of weight in this place.
Yeah. You can say no. But what about adding maybe something for Zam? It doesn't have to be big. And it doesn't have to have her name.
Like, look around.
Mm.
And, like, near... probably Frankie's... because I would assume Frankie's, like, family. Statue. I, like, look around to do something. I, like, put my hands in my chalk. And I just go up to, like, Frankie's metal arm in the statue.
Mm-hmm.
And I just draw a little X on the top of her hand where, like, it matches my tattoo, where my X is, for Sandra. Until I make it mirror that.
Okay.
And I say, keep her safe, alright.
You okay?
Yeah, I think I will be. I don't know if I'm ready to go home quite yet.
Who said we're going home?
I just live every day in fear I'm gonna turn the corner and my moms are gonna be there. I don't know how to face them.
Just one day at a time. I'm not alone now.
That's true. And I, like, quickly wipe my eyes because I'm getting emotional. We should go back and have fun. I don't know why I brought us into this very sad place.
No. I think it's important to slow down sometimes. Plus, I didn't know your middle name was Francesca.
Not many people do.
So your mom and her were best friends.
Yeah.
Weird.
Mom used to talk about her a lot. She hasn't for a while. I think it's hard. I can see that. I don't know how to be without my sister.
I guess you guys have a lot more in common now.
I guess so.
I think she'd understand. Maybe not be something so afraid of, but maybe one day when you're ready.
I think it would take a lot for my mom to see it as me having lost a best friend like she did versus her having lost a child.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't think about it that way.
that's all I think about.
Maybe it's bad to think for other people.
Maybe.
I'm learning that too.
Like, take one of my gingerbread cookies that I have and I put it on Frankie's thing as like an offering, like a, just because I'm fiddling. So I'm just like,
What do the X's mean anyways?
Sandra's name starts with an X.
I like it.
Thanks.
Okay, yeah. Getting a little creeped out now.
Yeah, we should go. We should go.
As you pivot and turn, there's this kind of tall, gaunt, feminine form. It's just kind of like looming there beside you both, and kind of wearing this kind of like dark vestments. And you know this individual to be Eliza. She's a female Shatterkai, and is kind of the one who caretakes this area. And she just looks to you as a smile and goes, "Your message will be carried on into the beyond." She just smiles.
Thanks.
She looks back at you, Vivian, and goes, "Have you by chance seen your brother lately?
No.
Oh.
Well, why?
Oh, nothing pressing or concerning. I just wish to speak with him as soon as he's around. She just smiles and looks back at you.
Okay. Can I get an insight check on that? That's
Sure.
a little creepy.
Yeah.
I mean,
This gaunt ass bitch. This gaunt ass bitch.
How old is this person exactly?
Older. Eliza is a Shattercut. She's a elf, technically. So it's kind of hard to gauge age.
I'm a flat 0. A 9.
It wasn't like a threat or it wasn't hostile in any way.
But was it like?
It wasn't. Elaborate.
Like, is she seeing him in the spooky spooks?
Oh,
Is seeing him
you are
in
not
the
picking up
spooky
that
spooks.
vibe from her
Okay.
whatsoever. It seems very formal.
Seeing him in the
Okay.
spooky spooks.
That's what I got. This gaunt ass bitch who caretakes and is like, your message will be received. So then, have you talked to your brother?
Brown chicken, brown cow.
Bizarre!
What the elf?
Isn't that what you meant by spooky spooks or no?
No, spooky spooks as in the, like, he's in the past. I just talked about him, like, being in danger, and now I'm talking
Oh, you
about...
think he's dead?
I'm pretty sure. Brink of it or death is looming. I was not thinking... What? Where do you get spooky spooks with brown chicken, brown cow?
High charisma! He's a sorcerer. High charisma!
He also hooked up in the Feywild, so that would be surprising.
This is so hard for me because he's not there. So speculate away.
Fuck.
Am I the only one who got that?
Nope, I got it.
Okay.
Nope, I
Our brains went in completely opposite directions, that's all.
He's dead. No, he got laid. Which is it?
He's either passed out from life or enjoying life.
Anyways, yes, you're, I'll let him know.
Thank you.
Thank you for this.
Of course. I'm happy to help. And just kind of looks out at the rest of the crowd and everything and looks back to you all. I was like, I will not take up any more of your time. Please enjoy the festivities. And just kind of smiles and you see the large dragon pendant that she's wearing on her chest and matching her silver and many colored vestments, and she continues walking through the space, and you see like one kid kind of goes and tugs on her robes, and she's like, who is that? And she just turns with a smile and explains who it was and begins to tell stories to them, and some other kids kind of gather around and they got like cocoa and like whipped cream mustaches as they're listening and huddled together by fire, and yeah. So
I'm watching for a moment. Now
Okay.
questioning if she's sleeping with my brother.
okay.
But yes.
Yeah, let's get out of here. I think let's go dance.
Okay.
You know, since I'm an excellent dancer.
You are the best dancer.
That is
The most excellent
Excellent
dancer.
time to live up to the name.
I think so.
Let's go.
Okay. So you both are headed back to the tavern?
Yeah.
Okay. Back in the tavern. The Fates End Tavern. You and Tala are currently dancing up a storm, and you're getting fairly winded at this point. You've had a few more drinks in, and, you know, working up a bit of a sweat. Really kind of busting the moves on the dance floor. And the music shifts tone quite a bit, and things begin to go very slow.
Shoots himself off to the bar.
You see she's just kind of standing there out on the dance floor and like watches you walk away, and
You coming or what?
she smiles again, kind of confused, and follows you as you return to the bar. She kind of like leans up onto the counter, is like, so what's the deal? All danced out?
You know how hard it is to keep up with you?
Yeah. You did your best, though. You got some moves. Demonium.
Mm-hmm. And a good teacher.
So, how have you been?
Been better, been worse.
Elaborate. And she elbows you.
It's been getting harder in here. Almost killed her own, my sisters.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
When? Oh, she thinks back. She's like, oh my gosh, wait, that was that last night? The night before?
No, that one was fine.
We went on a hunt. Where were you?
Way out. Was able to get away from people. Don't worry.
Oh, okay.
That was disappeared. Was it a month ago? 2 months ago? It was in a Feywild, so I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. That makes sense on why you disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
So you went back home?
Yeah. Yeah, and then strike happened.
And...
Well, I'm alive. She's okay. Probably suffering the scars.
Oh, shit. She just kind of like puts her hand on your hand. She's like, I'm sorry. I remember when I first turned and how ugly things got. And it's not easy.
At least you can control yours now.
It took me a long ass time to figure that out, though. And I hated relying on other people for that, so...
At least you could.
It hasn't gotten better at all?
It's getting worse, if anything.
It sounds not normal.
No. It's not a normal thing.
Are you sure you don't want to, like, spend more time with us?
And hurt y'all.
Yeah, but at least we can hold our own. I bite back. The
Yeah,
fuck?
Hey, yo.
But what if I got is a different thing than what you got, and it makes yours worse.
I'm willing to weigh the risk.
I'm not.
Too bad. She just kind of like goes and pours another drink for herself, and she's like, "You want another one? Or are you done?"
I just sober just a little bit. I'm running back. Nah, that's fine right now.
Make a persuasion check.
Roll the 20. 21.
She kind of like goes to pour you another one, and just kind of holds onto it and nurses it a bit. She goes, "Well, fuck, you really aren't yourself, huh? I could tell you're a bit off. It's concerning."
Yeah.
She kind of like slouches, and her kind of tougher exterior kind of folds in a bit. She kind of folds her shoulders in and hunches over the counter and like kicks one of her back feet up onto her toes. She's like tapping it, standing next to you at the bar. She kind of drinks her drink and just kind of like looks at yours and looks back at you.
Let's put on. Go, I gotta pace myself. Come on.
You kind of nudge her, and she kind of just looks back at you, and she's like, the last full moon didn't go good for me either.
What happened to you?
I'm tired of taking orders from a prick, so I kind of challenged the pack leader.
Well, you're alive, so that went terrible.
And you know who's not here? She just kind of looks around, and you see the rest of them, the pack, over there having a good time. You do notice that one of the members is missing. Can't quite remember his name, but she looks back at you and goes, "Yeah, we kind of got into a nasty fight. And I'm kind of doing my own thing right now. So things are kind of..." And she looks back at them, and you can kind of feel this animosity. Things are kind of complicated right now.
The lone wolf does not work for you.
Yeah, it doesn't. She just kind of goes, and it's at this moment that you notice that her other hand has been on yours this entire time. She's just kind of like resting it there. She's drinking. Like, she's buzzed, definitely. She's definitely a little bit more inebriated. But you see her, like, very dark, drow eyes are just kind of like... It's almost like she's reading a book that's not in front of her. She's, like, listening and having this conversation with you, but she's also kind of out of it.
Okay. Switches to flip the channel to all those. Wait, out of the head.
She just kind of smiles and kind of squeezes your hand as you're holding it. And kind of looks back at you, and she kind of like leans her shoulder over and rests her head up against your shoulder. And just kind of sits there with you in that moment.
Rest my head against hers.
You both kind of enjoy this nice moment together, and eventually the two of you come walking in.
Do I
And
clock it?
you do clock it, but really quick. What were you doing, Armand? You were with Hibiscus. Hibiscus had just arrived.
Why is it the death of our object? I'm not even the death. I'm just.
So you know what? We're actually going to end the episode there. And we will pick up with the party's festivities next time. And find out what happens with Armand and Hibiscus next time. So, thank you all so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed our content. And we will see you in the next episode. So, farewell, friends.
Temptation.